Yo, today should be a good, exciting day. I'm excited at least. I haven't been behind the camera for a while, but it's going to be worth the wait because today I'm going to be delivering a presentation on marketing to a bunch of marketing agency owners. I'm going to walk you through why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and the approach that I use when it comes to speaking in front of an audience full of people that you don't know, which obviously can be nerve-wracking. But I think I've hacked my brain. And so instead of being nervous, I'm excited to share the video with you guys, and hopefully you learn something as well as enjoy what should be an exciting day. Just in the car with John, if I can get my angles sorted out, and we're talking about public speaking and how scary it can be. And actually, like the first few times I've done it, bear in mind I've not done it that many times, but now I get a feeling of excitement instead of being scared about it and nervous. And it's the same internal feelings, like your heart rate definitely goes up. You think about it a little bit, but the way that you approach it is different. And I think it genuinely is a mindset thing. And it's just understanding, like, first of all, when you do present about something that you already understand inherently in excruciating detail, it shouldn't be that scary. It's the same sort of feeling as a sales call. And what happens when you do more sales calls is they just become a lot easier. You become more relaxed, you're a bit more fluid. And I think knowing what it is that you're presenting, like I've seen so many people do their slides the night before, and you can tell, not in terms of the information, it's still valuable and you get a lot of value from what they are saying, but they just don't look as comfortable. It looks like the first time that they're doing it. And something that's really helped me, whether I make the slides, a week before, or whether I do it, like a month in advance, at least doing 2 practice runs where you actually, as cringy as it might sound, get the laptop, sit the dog down or whoever you need to be in front of you as you're presenting it, and just go through the slides as if you are actually in the room and you're presenting to an audience. And then when you're actually doing it, it's not the first time you presented this, it's not the first time you said what you're saying, and it just rolls off the tongue and it's a lot more natural. And then you'll start to notice that instead of being nervous about it, you become excited because you've already done it before. You felt the emotions on a lower scale, and it's so much easier. And I got that tip when I first started doing sales calls and I was nervous. 5 minutes beforehand, I'd just go through it in my head and I'll just imagine some of the objections, some of the questions that they've got. I'd answer them in my head, and then when they did ask those questions, the answers would just flow out of me. So that's one tip, whether it's for public speaking, whether it's for sales calls, or anything that you're nervous about. If it's a networking dinner, just go through and role play, whether it's in your head or in person. It helps so fucking much.
Mentioned before, this guy is an absolute weapon, so much so that we've sent him a bunch of work, we've needed his help. So please guys, put your hands together for Paul Jones, our next speaker of the day.
Nice one, broski.
I've got someone else to hold that camera for you.
No, it's good, it'll follow me. Okay, cool. So, in fact, this presentation is going to be on how to make ads that make a lot of money for you and for your clients. Just to understand who we've actually got in the room, put your hands up if you've got a marketing agency. Should be most people, okay? Keep your hands up if you work with e-commerce brands. Okay, not as many. Lead gen businesses? Okay, cool. I work with e-commerce brands. I will make sure that I apply these principles to any business. I'll make them broad enough so that you can get enough out of it. But this applies to any form of marketing, not just the specific e-commerce niche that I'm talking about in my experience. Cool. So what you'll learn, how to build high converting ad creatives. I'm also going to walk you through user generated content, what works and what doesn't. And most importantly, I'm going to apply these strategies to help you land more agency clients with paid ads. Out of all the agency owners here, who's getting their clients through paid ads at the moment? Okay, not actually that many. Cold email, referrals, okay. Organic, okay, cool. Everyone should run paid ads. Anyway, that's the main message of today. Cool, so most people see paid ads as either black or white. It either works or it doesn't work. And if you're gonna say it doesn't work, usually it's because you've tried it, you've not made money, and you have these 3 sort of excuses or reasons, so to speak. Either the niche is too small, either you think that my audience doesn't use social media, which is the funniest one, or that it just doesn't work because you've tried to make money on ads and it hasn't been profitable for you. That is bullshit. Okay? The way I see social media ads is very, very different. I just see it as marketing, this is me, by the way, eating chicken when I was like 12 years old. The way I see social media ads is it's just a way to put your business in front of an audience. That is all it is.
Wait, can I just verify that it's actually you? You just said.
There's been a glow up since. Don't worry. Yeah, yes.
Is it you or not?
It is me. It is me. It is me eating chicken.
You survived that chicken.
I have. Now, the reason I've got this up is because, like I say, it's marketing, right? You're putting your business in front of an audience, just like we would do with a billboard ad. The only difference is we don't get to control with a billboard ad who sees it. Could be a vegan driving past, it's not going to be applicable. Meat and chicken's not relevant. Whereas with social media, through the content that we make, we can make sure that that content is put on somebody's screen and that person is likely to be interested based on their behavior patterns on social media. Much more powerful. And yes, Facebook ads does work, billboard ads don't. Cool. And so if you think paid ads doesn't work, it does, okay? And if it doesn't work or it hasn't worked, there's either two options. Either A, it's because people don't want what you're selling, and that's a bigger business problem. Or B, you've got a marketing problem, which are that your ads are not persuasive. What you're showing people isn't making them want to buy from you. So let's fix that. Okay, so just to challenge a few limiting beliefs. First of all, your ad does not need to look sexy. It definitely doesn't. It doesn't need to be polished, and you definitely don't need to have a social media presence to run paid ads profitably. Now, let's play a game. Scale or fail. Very simple. I'm going to show you 4 ads. They're all image ads, and if you think it's scale, I'll say scale, you put your hands up. If you think it's fail, put your hands up for fail. Very, very simple. Okay, the first one. These are all our clients, by the way, so I know the results of these. Okay, so the first one is Ozempic versus nature. It's a question. And then on the right, we've got control cravings and boost metabolism naturally. Hands up if we think this scaled. Hands up if we think this failed. Interesting. Cheers, guys. Okay, this scaled. Now, this helped us go from 35K per month to 500K per month in 5 months. This was one of the top 3 ads. And does anyone want to have a stab at why this ad maybe did well, even though most of you obviously thought it didn't do well? What are the reasons? Let's look at it. Go on. Credibility, okay. Social proof at the bottom. Good shout. Forbes, good shout. Okay. Yes, Danny? Correct. Cool. Any more? I like it. Okay. Any more? Yeah, we've got a few. Okay, I'll take 2 more. Good point. Nice. Cool. One more? It's like role marketing agency owners. Cool. So it's specific is one of them, which I think you said as well, like you mentioned the audience and the colors resonate. It's specific, right? If I'm somebody that isn't trying to lose weight or maybe hasn't considered medical weight loss, it's probably going to be worthless to me. But if I am considering it, it's so specific in the first 3 seconds that I am going to stop scrolling. So that's important. Number 2, it creates curiosity. So like you said, we started with a question. It's thought-provoking. It gets you to think, and that's what we want to do. We want to capture that attention. It sells the benefits, not the ingredients. So it's a natural supplement, and what we haven't done is just describe it. We haven't talked about the ingredients, but instead we're describing what it can do. Boost metabolism, and also social proof. Round 2. Okay, so this ad is a toxin cleanse for your body, and it's very simple. Product image, we've got something disgusting looking on the right, and then we've got exposed. 80% of adults are carrying parasites and don't know it. Cleanse them out naturally with this. Hands up for scale. Hands up for fail. Interesting. Scaled. So this helped us go from 5K per month to 105K per month in 6 months. Why do we think this one scaled? Let's do 3. Go on, Josh. Nice. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. Anyone else? Organic. Okay. Might as well do 3 from the same table. Yeah. Love that. Especially the 80%. Yeah. So you can see here, specific numbers used. You know, we could have just said some people or a lot of people, not really going to be as persuasive. If I say 80%, I'm reading that and I want to know if I'm the 80% right. It's making me want to click. It creates an emotional reaction. So in terms of the colors, we've got warning signs. It's like red, white, yellow. It's what we subconsciously recognize as like warning signs or headlines and things like that, breaking news. And then it also opens a curiosity loop. Does anybody know what a curiosity loop is? No. Danny? Kind of. I'll explain my definition of a curiosity loop in a bit, but yeah, it creates curiosity is the main thing. Okay, round 3. The only known natural source of testosterone. I have more energy. I believe my testosterone levels have increased. The morning wood is back. My libido is way up also. I've tried a lot of other testosterone boosters. None of them have worked. I'm 63 years old and I feel like I'm 30 again. Thank you. From Stephen. Scale or fail? Hands up for scale. Hands up for fail. Interesting. This one scaled. This one helped us go from 30K a month to 80K per month. Was one of the best ads in the ad account, and we did that in 6 months. Anyone want to have a stab at why this scaled? Storytelling? Yeah, like that one. Any more? At the back? Yeah. Scroll stopper. Nice. 90-day guarantee. Good. To be fair, I forgot about that, but yeah, you're right. Well, go on, Danny. You might as well. Okay. So bold headline. That's something that we've found does really well in the ads, being very bold, right? Excruciating detail. We picked that review on purpose. You know, we could have used a very broad review that we thought would apply to a load of people. We picked a very specific one. He's gone into too much detail, if anything, but this is what we actually want in order to get somebody to resonate with the ad. It can't be surface level. And then also the social proof, it's coming from somebody else that is an existing customer, right? If it's helped them, why can't it help me, sort of thing. Okay, last round, scale or fail. Round 4, what's really hiding in your guts? Scale or fail? You pulling scale? Okay, hands up for scale. Oh, you guys aren't learning. Okay, this one scaled. So this is in the last 7 days. We've spent just under 20K to make 60K on this one ad. It's the top performer in the ad account, 3.16x ROAS. Why do we think this one scaled? Smashed it. There we go. Curiosity loop. Curiosity, yeah, 100%. The reason I showed you those ones before I go into that slide is because, like I said, the ad does not have to be polished. The ad does not have to be sexy. You don't need a following. It doesn't even need to look good. What we're doing with an ad, it's all about psychology. It's marketing. I think people forget that. They try and make things look nice. That is not the job of an ad. The job is to get somebody to stop scrolling, click on the ad, and buy. And that at least gets the click. If you then put them towards a landing page that does the selling, you will get customers, as we can see here. It was a product page. Yeah. But we had a lot of information on the product page. More of a landing page described as disguised. Cool. So, what makes a winning ad? There's a few things. We've already covered a lot of them. Excruciating detail about the customer, being specific, identifying a problem that's worth solving. I mean, if you've got all of these different products or SKUs and you're selling one that targets a problem that nobody wants to pay to solve, doesn't matter how good your ads are, it's not going to be effective. Opening a curiosity loop, be direct, be authentic, and understand that your customer has a current state and a desired state. Once you understand those two things, it's much easier to sell to somebody, like with the testimonial ad where he described his before state and how he feels now. Do not describe your product or service. It's not persuasive. It doesn't sell. That would be it would be like me saying that with these bottles of water, I'm going to make an ad, I'm going to describe it. It's 2 hydrogen molecules bonded with an oxygen molecule. It's not persuasive, it doesn't make you want to buy the product. So, just to focus on 3 specifically, I think these are the 3 most important things. You don't have to do all of them. If you do, the ad will be more effective. But if you at least tick some of these boxes, you will start to make ads that are a lot more profitable. Number 1, be specific, the curiosity loop as well, which I'll explain, and be direct. So, be specific. What do I mean by that? When you make an ad, it's so easy to think about it being a social media ad, and I'm going to show it to everybody. And so you try and make it sound like an ad that should be shown to everybody, but that's the wrong approach. It should feel one-to-one. When you're thinking about the ad that you create, whether it's the creative, whether it's the copywriting, make sure that you have one person in mind, your customer persona, and you speak specifically to that person. The language is specific, it's a one-to-one conversation. And what happens is there is a lot more of those people. They all see the ad and that becomes scalable. But what you don't want to do is make a very broad ad, try and say a lot of things to a lot of people, end up saying nothing to nobody. Okay, number 2 is be direct. Avoid indirect language. You don't want to be vague. You don't want to be ambiguous. You want to make sure that your ads are very specific, they're clear. Within 3 seconds, I know what it is that you're selling. And the thing that I always think about is, when I'm approaching an ad, think about the audience. And the person that's watching your ad or looking at the image, they should be able to understand within 3 seconds, why should I, as the target audience, stop my scroll, pay attention, and click? And if that's not clear, you're wasting money with your ads. Okay, the curiosity loop, number 3. I think this is the most powerful thing. What's really hiding in your gut ad was basically just a massive curiosity loop. So it's in our human nature to have to close any sort of curiosity loop. So to explain what I mean by this, if we can create curiosity, for example, if I was to say, if somebody asked me, I do this with my fiance all the time, right? Literally, I'll ask her, I'll say, Lucy, I need your help with something, just want to ask you a quick question. In fact, do you know what? Never mind, don't need it anymore, it's all good. She's like, what were you going to say? Like, she needs to close that, right? And that's the same with the ad. Like, if you create a loop, and the only way to close the loop is to click on the ad, what are people going to do? They're going to click on the ad. It's very, very, very powerful. And that's the curiosity loop. Now, in terms of UGC, user-generated content, does anybody know what it is? Anyone want to describe it, define it? Content generated by the user. essentially. Yeah, you're right. And that's what it was. It's kind of changed a little bit now. It used to be like customer testimonials. Now it really involves you hiring a creator, you give them a script, they make an ad, and it all kind of blends into the same thing. So I'm going to give you 3 tips now on how to make better user-generated content. Okay, so number 1, I use actors now instead of creators or influencers. When everybody goes left, I go right. So if everybody's using creators, they're all making the same content. I've just been sent this product by this company, and it goes into that sing-song dance tune. It's not really authentic. It's not persuasive. It feels too promotional. Whereas the benefit with using an actor is if we know the customer persona, like I explained, we can then go into excruciating detail. And if that means we need somebody that's got 3 kids, testing, 1, 2, 3, cool. If that means we need somebody in the video to be somebody going through menopause that's got 3 kids and the child's got autism and it's just very specific, we can't do that with a creator, right? But with an actor we can, and we can give them the script, we can give them the information, and they can create the exact video that we're looking for.
I love my dog, but she was...
Caveat, forgot to explain. For each of these, I'm going to show a video just to explain what I mean. So in this next video, you'll see it's a bit different to the usual like video testimonial. We've gotten a very specific script. We've asked for very specific B-roll. We've used actors. It's, well, you'll see now.
I love my dog, but she was 1 doorbell away from being banned this Thanksgiving. Every time somebody came over, she would lose it, barking, spinning, in full panic mode. I couldn't even grab a package without her absolutely losing it. It wasn't her fault though. She's anxious, overstimulated, basically a nervous ball of energy. And trust me, we tried everything. Then I found this, a calming peanut butter that's 100% natural and literally made for dogs with big feelings. I don't even have to force her to eat it because it tastes so good that she begs for it. I gave her some before our family trip, and it was like I had a completely different dog. She doesn't bark at the doorbell anymore, and that's honestly a miracle. She chills on the bed like she pays rent. I get to have guests over, and honestly, the freedom and peace of mind that this stuff has given me is priceless. This stuff has changed everything. If you have a nervous or anxious pup, put some in their coffee before you leave the house or on a mat, and I promise you, you won't even recognize your dog.
Okay, cool. So hopefully you understand a bit of a difference there between usual UGC that's very boring. This has a storyline, we've used actors, and it's helped get across the before and after without us just describing what it is. Okay, number 2, stop the scroll. I think somebody else mentioned it, it might have even been you, Sean. We definitely need to stop the scroll, right? It's a very competitive space, social media, for attention. We need to show them something that's gonna get them to stop scrolling and pay attention to our video. I'll show you an example on the next one. It's not the best ad to be fair, but just to highlight, whenever we have a food supplement company or if it's a drink that we're selling, any sort of motion in the first 3 seconds helps to capture the attention, like this one.
You guys on something that kind of changed my life. I saw them on TikTok do it. It's called Cheery, and I get the chocolate. And basically it's just like a superfood powder that you can mix into milk or water. But the biggest thing was my cravings. Especially at night, I would get them mainly at night. That was my biggest time for cravings, like chocolate bars, Kit Kats, ice cream. And it would really make...
Cool. I know we've got 5 minutes, Aaron? Cool. Okay, and then the last thing in terms of UGC, how to make sure that you use UGC effectively, is to show and not tell. It's very boring if we just make an ad that tells what the benefits are, or describes the benefits, describes the ingredients. Anytime you mention something, you want to make sure that you actually show it. So you would have seen it a little bit in that video there. Same in the first video with the dog, and the dog's anxious, and you can see the box all ripped up on the floor. You want to show. It's a lot more persuasive than telling. Here's an example.
Doing the gin that's going viral online, winning multiple awards and being praised by connoisseurs everywhere, is one most people still haven't even heard of until now. This gin is smoother, more balanced and better designed than anything else you've ever tried. Hardly anyone knows it yet, but they will. 8 botanicals, crisp juniper and bright citrus. You haven't really had gin until you've had Glaswegian. Try it for yourself, and while you're at it, send it to that Glaswegian mate who'll thank you for knowing the secret early.
Okay, so lastly, applying these strategies to land more agency clients. Okay, I know a lot of you aren't running paid ads at the moment to get clients. I think it's the easiest way to scale your business. Sean, don't know where you are. Sean at the back. You were burnt out, you're making content. When I heard how much content you're trying to make in 30 days, that's mad. If you put that amount of energy into creating paid ads and scaling them, your business would be a lot further ahead, a lot quickly, a lot faster. But you've got a lot of cool videos to be fair. So I've tried everything in terms of the paid ads, right? I've tried all of the fancy stuff. I've tried me getting out the Range Rover. I've got me on the Aaron Branch podcast. I've got the founder stories. I've got the whiteboard video. I've tried all of the fancy stuff. None of it worked for me. What did work ended up being really, really simple. And it comes down to understanding your customer, a lot of the basics that we've spoken about. Like I said, it doesn't need to be a polished ad, it doesn't need to be sexy, it doesn't need to look that good. But ultimately, if I put my mindset into the shoes of the customer, who for me is an e-commerce brand, this is gonna get them more likely to want to stop scrolling, click, and ultimately have a conversation with me. So, just to break this down, it's a very simple ad, like I said, but there are a few things to pay attention to. It's specific, number one. So yes, we work with e-commerce brands. We work mostly with health and wellness e-commerce brands. And you can see there, in terms of the brand that we've decided to run with, they're called For Wellness. A, you'll recognize them if you're in the space. And B, in the name, you already know it's a wellness brand, and so you pay more attention to it if that's you and you've got a similar brand. It also has the desired outcome. So we're not just selling the ingredients. We're not describing what our offer is. We're not describing our business, but instead we're selling the desired outcome. It opens that curiosity loop. Click to find out how. It's a low friction CTA. We're using unique language and intrigue to make it a little bit interesting and different. And overall, the ad is bold, it's direct, it's authentic. We're not being wishy-washy. We're not saying, like, work with us, we're gonna give you free UGC content, we're gonna do this, we're gonna give you a 30-day money-back refund guarantee. We're not doing any of that complicated stuff, but this has helped grow our business by 65% this year from last year. Definitely, if you're not running paid ads right now, run them and apply these frameworks, principles, and watch how much more money you can make. Okay, I definitely don't have a big following. I'm not as consistent as I should be. Follow me though, because in 2026 I will be. It's Paul Ryan Jones on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And if anyone has any questions, then let's go for it.
And that wraps up today's video. Hopefully you found it useful. It is a very different style of content to what I'm used to posting. But if you enjoyed it, I'll do more of it. So yeah, let me know. I'm just trying to make videos that I think would be valuable and that I would like to watch. And if you've learned something amazing, let me know in the comments.